This show is sponsored by MidasResources.com, your trusted source for precious metals since 1996. Call Midas today at 1-800-686-2237.
What is up? Good morning, friends. Greetings and welcome to the Brightside, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist, registered pharmacist number 12275. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health, vitality, and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to the Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That is why we are here every day on the Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 28 years of practicing pharmacy, I've seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like acne, psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of the modern medical model can only be called miraculous, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure, because the human biological system is a healing system. It's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while it may seem like a miracle to some folks, this healing, renewing, regenerating system is simply the way the body works. If you want to learn more about the longevity products, the ones I take and the ones I recommend, you can head over to my website, brightsideben.com. We've got a shopping cart up with all the longevity products. You can also click on the Join the Team link if you like and start yourself a longevity business. Earn thank you checks for helping spread the word about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program. You can also call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. Make sure you ask about joining the team for a one-time $10 fee. You can start yourself a longevity business, earn thank you checks, help spread the word, and just get your products at the wholesale price. You can also enjoy all the tax benefits associated with having your own business, including tax write-offs, writing off your home office, writing off your rent, your mileage, your products, all for a one-time $10 fee. They can tell you about it by calling 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. All right, welcome to the Bright Side once again. As most of you guys know, one of the key ideas, maybe the key idea of what I call the Bright Side philosophy is the notion that the gut, the digestive tract, especially the intestine, is the core of the body, and it's the nexus of health and disease. So it's with great excitement that I want to welcome our guest today. We have him on for the whole hour. This is a guy who not only lives this idea in his life personally, not only has he used this idea in his own life and chronicles his successes and his personal journey from sickness to health in several books, he's also, by virtue of his insight and his passion, become an articulate and tireless advocate for health, a spokesperson through his books and presentations and formulated products as well for the idea that we can heal ourselves without drugs, without medicines, without the medical model at all. And not only does he preach the word about the power of nutrition and digestion, these days he's actually in the business of producing healthy foods, literally from the ground up, from the grass up, if you will. But as well-versed as he is and informed as he is about the processes of digestion, assimilation, how it relates to health and disease, even more fundamentally, he's hip to the power of what we call on the Bright Side the divine force and the divine intelligence. He's the author of numerous books, including Live Beyond Organic, Patient Heal Thyself, Restoring Your Digestive Health, The Great Physician's RX for Health and Wellness, The Maker's Diet, and now The Maker's Diet Workbook. He believes we all have a divine right to live healthfully and abundantly, and he's on a mission to improve the health of Americans and to change the way we think about food and digestion. Please welcome to the Bright Side my friend and colleague, Dr. Jordan Rubin. What is up, Jordan? Good to talk to you, buddy.
Hey, Ben. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Thank you so much for coming on the Bright Side. So it's one thing to love the body and biology and to have a kind of theoretical grasp, a theoretical understanding of how the whole system works. But when you have a personal experience with the healing and renewing power of the divine force through the medium of the body, through lifestyle choices, through nutritional supplementation and foods, that gives you a whole different perspective. And many people have heard your story or read your story of how you use these ideas in your personal life. But for those who haven't, I wonder if you could start off by giving us a short synopsis of your background and biography, how you got involved in these ideas, and how they personally affected you in your life.
Absolutely. While I grew up the child of what I describe as hippie health nut parents, my dad went to naturopathic university, later became a chiropractor. We definitely ate differently and lived differently than most people. I still suffered from the ravages of disease as a late teenager. And this was in spite of avoiding a lot of sugars, not being vaccinated, but one ill-advised vaccine when I was a teenager, did not take antibiotics very often at all. I still managed to find myself stressed out, eating the wrong foods, and living a lifestyle that wasn't conducive to health in college. And as a result, combined with probably some genetic predisposition, I suffered from the ravages of Crohn's colitis, inflammatory disease of the bowel, which led to 17 other illnesses, including diabetes. I had chronic fatigue. I was dealing with parasitic, fungal, bacterial, viral infections. I had liver problems, kidney problems, urinary tract and prostate infections. You name it, I had it. But most distressing was a weight loss. It really put me in a situation of muscle wasting that saw me go from 185 pounds at 6 feet tall to 104 pounds in a wheelchair.
Oh, my
and for 2 years, despite visiting 69 medical experts, conventional, which failed, alternative, which also in many cases failed, I was worse than when I started, in a wheelchair, fighting for my life. And that's when I learned how to rebuild the body, I would like to call it, the old-fashioned way.
And now, how did you come up? Did you read a book? Did you meet somebody? How did this transpire?
Well, not only did I read a book, I read 300 books. I counted at one point. It was right around 300 health books. And because my dad was fairly well connected, that's how I visited all these doctors. You look at some of the best-selling health authors of the last decades. I was their personal patient. I received copies of their manuscript prior to publication. I was finding the best of the best, and it still didn't work. I traveled to Germany, Mexico, saw doctors from England and Canada. Nothing worked. I was always called the worst case of Crohn's disease. I was told I had the worst case of Candida, the worst viral load, you name it. And ultimately, when we were really seeking a surgical procedure that at the time was on the experimental side, doing a not only total colectomy, which was removal of the colon, but also some of the small intestine. It was going to be a real mess. But right before that, I met a man by telephone in Southern California, and he said to me, Jordan, you can be well if you follow a health plan that's based on the Bible, proven through history, and confirmed by science. Now, Ben, I was a man of faith. That was the most important part of my life, certainly. I can't tell you I was smiling while chained to my bathroom and my bed for 2 years other than visiting doctors. I have horror stories galore, but I knew that God created me for a purpose, and it wasn't to suffer and die. So I clinged to this hope, and in a 40-day period, going from Florida, where I grew up, to Southern California, where this man I'll call an eccentric nutritionist lived, I learned the secrets from the Bible, history, and science, and was able to go on a 40-day health program that saw me go from death to life, sickness to health, and some have said from mess to messenger. And that's very much the same message that I'm sharing 19 years later, having overcome an incurable disease that's called incurable for a reason, but having been blessed to see thousands follow in my footsteps, not just due to the nutritional information, but really, Ben, I think the hope that I have been able to provide people, not because I'm smart, not because I have learned a lot, but because I had the faith to have my mom take my picture when I was at my worst. And that before photo,
I love that
giving
picture.
people the hope that if this guy can do it, who's worse than me, I can do it as well. And my goal was to become the first doctor that I would have been able to see instead of the 70th to get me well, and that's been my goal. I really believe we need a healthcare model that involves empathy, not just sympathy, and certainly not just degrees hanging on a wall. And if there's one thing that I would say is the best characteristic that I've developed over the years, Ben, it's really the understanding of what it's like to suffer. And more importantly, what it takes to get well.
Well, you know, that picture that you have on the book, on Patient Heal Thyself, right on the cover of that book, that's what that says, is that this is, and you got both pictures, you got pictures before and after, and it says that this is a man who's actually lived sickness and lived disease and figured out how to take care of it himself without doctors and without drugs, like we talk about on the Brightside every day. Thanks so much, Jordan. Hang tight. We got to take a break. Got some more stuff I want to talk about. I want to talk about what some of these doctors were telling you when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Brightside. We're talking to Dr. Jordan Rubin about a lot of his stuff, his work, and his books. We'll be back after this. Don't go away.
Hello, it's Tom Chenault from The Tom Chenault Show. We are experts in home-based business and residual income. We show people how to make money from their home, either part-time or full-time, and in partnership with Genesis Communication Network, we've organized a team to fight back about people not having money, time, or health. And we need your help. What we want you to do is, if you've got an interest in building an organization to fight back against people taking our money, taking our time, and taking our health, we want to talk to you. All you need to do is call this number, 855-308-8326. Again, all you want to do is call 855-308-8326. You can make a tremendous amount of money and end up fighting for a great cause. Please call us right now.
Friends, this is Alex Jones for MidasResources.com. For more than 15 years, I have exclusively used Midas Resources for all my precious metal needs. Whether it's bullion or collectibles you're looking for, Midas Resources is simply the best. I own my gold as a hedge against inflation. This Federal Reserve fiat currency could go the way of the Deutschmark and the Weimar Republic any time. In these historically dangerous times, it makes sense to physically hold gold and silver. Midas already has some of the best deals in the industry. But if you give them a call and mention the radio special, they will give you a list of the day's super specials. Midas brokers are standing by to answer all your questions at 800-686-2237. They also have a lot of informative free literature explaining the opportunities and risk of holding precious metals. They are ready to answer your questions at 800-686-2237. Again, that's 800-686-2237.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey Guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey Guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
Independently leading the way for the nation. Compelling talk for every political persuasion. We are G.
All right, we are back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for joining us today. We're talking to Dr. Jordan Rubin about his multiple books and about his message of health and wellness that is linked to the digestive system. Jordan, I want you to talk a little bit, before we get into a couple other things, the books and the foods, I want you to talk just briefly about some of the things that the doctors were giving you, these brilliant medical physicians that you were visiting. What were some of the so-called treatments and cures, and especially the radical ones or the unusual ones that they were trying to get you to do?
Well, the medical treatments will be looked back in history, I'm sure, in the next 100 years.